Everyone wants to make money online. Where do you even start? Dropshipping? Amazon? Your own brand? In today's episode of Straight Talk Commerce Podcast, I'm going to break down the real roadmap to starting an e-commerce business. One that actually makes money, not just collects domain names. Because when I first started online, I had no idea what I was doing. I had no traffic. I had no clue. I had no plan. Probably sounds familiar. Today, I'm going to save you from that pain. Whether you are launching your first Shopify store or you are building a brand from scratch, this episode in particular will give you everything you need to get started the right way. I've built and I've advised e-commerce businesses for over 20 years. And the one thing I can tell you is this: success online is not about luck. It's about structure. And today I'm going to show you the step-by-step system every successful store follows, from idea to the very first sale. My name is Wayne Altman. This is Straight Talk Commerce Podcast. We will begin in 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
No fluff, no hype, just the real deal. Wayne Altman's here, yeah, you know the drill. Talking business, talking shop, making moves non-stop. From e-com to hustle, straight talk, no props. Straight talk, no gimmicks, no lies. Hey, I break it down with the sharpest minds. Money moves, mindset, grind. If you're ready to win, then tune in live. Big names, big games, all the lessons they bring, from Jelly Belly to AA Kings, from the startup grind to the top tier pros. We crack the code, now here we go. Straight talk, commerce, getting to know the Wayne Altman. Let's start the show.
All right, everybody, welcome back. E-commerce is not just one business model. It is an entire ecosystem of different opportunities. Sure, you can sell physical products, but you can also sell digital services, you can sell subscriptions, you can create your own brand. Each of these things require a slightly different playbook. Take, for example, dropshipping is a low-cost startup. It's for a beginner in e-commerce, it is a very attractive and lucrative way to begin in e-commerce. Very low startup cost. There's no inventory for you to worry about so much. The competition, though, because of that, is very high. Private labeling, that's another avenue that people tend to go. Private label, brand building, that's a long-term equity. It's very profitable, but it is a higher upfront investment, and your investment over time will be a little bit more than some of the other models. Speaking of which, you have print on demand. It's another very popular niche that people get into. It's great for people that are very creative and they want to have a creative outlet. And it's very good for someone that can test and create new designs quickly. You also have wholesale and bulk buying. Very high margins on some of these things. It makes it very attractive to beginners. Look, the logistics to this can be very vexing. It can be very complex logistics when you come to wholesale and bulk purchase. And the investment, therefore, is more. Amazon is a very lucrative and attractive to the people that are just starting out. You get instant visibility on the FBA, but there's very stiff competition, and the fees can sometimes eat into your profit far more than what you would realize, which kind of sends those people back into the subscription or the software as a service niche. With software as a service or subscription, you have the opportunity for reoccurring revenue. And you've got to be very good at customer retention, because that's the main focus of a subscription base or a software as a service based business. And then you have the affiliate or digital product space. Now, this is there's no fulfillment and it's pure marketing. You've got to be super good, flex those marketing muscles, but it is very lucrative to certain people that they understand customers, they have a very good ability to draw a crowd, their marketing is impeccable. The trick isn't choosing the best, quote unquote, best model. It's choosing the one that fits your resources, your skill set, and your patience. Now that we know the different types, they all sound very exciting to certain people. Some sound more exciting to others. That's where choosing the right model for you and for your idea, that's where that comes into play. You need to ask yourself, how much time and capital can I invest right now? Do I want my own brand, or do I want to leverage a brand of someone else, an existing platform of someone else? What excites me enough to work on it for years, for weeks, days, months, years? What is about this excites me? Because you're going to need to draw on that energy in order to be successful. I'll give you some examples of this. If you have a small budget, a very low risk mode of getting into e-commerce would be drop shipping or print on demand, because you have the platforms that require very little in the way of upfront costs, but they do draw on your marketing. They do draw on some of the other, your creativity, some of the other things that would come into play. If you want a brand, if you want control, that's your private label or your branding. You want to build something with your picture, with your name on it. You're the one that's responsible for this. Now, keep in mind, that's going to require some capital. That's going to require, anytime that you want control, you're going to need to be a heck of a lot more self-sufficient when it comes to that. If you have a tech background, take a look at the software as a service or the digital products niche, because that is going to be where you have your advantage, your best chance for success. And then if you are very technical and you're very detail-oriented and you prefer the logistics part of it, your Amazon FBA, that is going to really appeal to you. I know a store that started drop shipping wireless chargers. They pivoted to private labeling under their own name, and they 3 times their margins once they controlled the packaging, the branding, and the reviews started getting better and better, because your business model is your vehicle. Make sure that it matches the road and the load you plan to travel. All right. Now that we've decided our niche, we need to decide on a platform. And before you start running ads and designing packaging, your platform choice sets the tone for how scalable and how flexible your store is going to be. Let's give you some examples. Shopify, very good example. Very fast setup. Here's some of the pros. Fast setup. It's very secure. Professional templates and a massive app store. So you'll be able to compete really quickly with a lot of your competition because they have the apps available. It is a well-paved highway, Shopify. Cons, however, are monthly cost, very limited customization, app fees, and they add up. Don't negate your app fees, and it's going to eat into your marketing. Shopify is best for drop shippers, small brands, and startups that want speed and simplicity. WooCommerce gives you full control. One of the very big pros about WooCommerce. It is an SEO powerhouse, meaning you will build organic traffic quicker on WooCommerce than pretty much any of the other platforms. And it has a low base cost. However, it does require technical skills. You may not possess those. It is self-hosted maintenance. It is a slower setup. It is going to take you longer. Whoever is setting up for you, it's going to take them longer to set up. Shopify, you can get in and get it up and running in a day, certainly a few days at the most. WooCommerce is best for tech-savvy founders or Those people that want complete ownership of their brand. So if you're building a brand, WooCommerce is an excellent choice. Let's talk about Amazon. Here's one of the pros of Amazon. It's instant access to millions of customers. So you get a lot of walk-in traffic. You get a lot of customers browsing through Amazon. Amazon depends on what it is you're looking for. If they're shopping for what you have the access to those customers. FBA handles the logistics, and more about that later. The cons to Amazon are the very high fees. There are no branding controls. And the policy, the risk of violating one of Amazon's many policies kind of gets it out of favor. It makes it not worth it. Some people they regulate, some people they don't, and you never really figure out what you did wrong. However, it is best for product-focused sellers who want instant traction. So sometimes people will combine Amazon FBA, Fulfillment by Amazon, in case you're wondering what the FBA stands for, and a Shopify store and a WooCommerce. It's an add-on to the store that you already possess. That brings us to Etsy. Etsy is a very good platform if you have because it has a built-in creative audience. The people that go to Etsy to take a look, they are looking for that handcrafted item. It is great for handmade or niche items. There are, however, some caveats, some cons. The fees, the copycats, and the very limited ability to brand your own handmade articles make Etsy kind of, you got to be aware of it. It doesn't, we try to be very fair across the board here, but you have to at least be aware that these are the cons. Etsy is best for, like I said, artisans, designers, and niche crafters. Etsy will only allow a certain number of any one product to be made. That's all. You can't have mass-produced products on the Etsy platform. You've got to sit at home. So your ability to make money is very reliant on how many of certain things you can produce and sell on that platform. So be aware of that. Then you have a custom website. You can have someone go and build you a $10,000 or $100,000, frankly, a dollar website. There's unlimited flexibility when it comes to that. You own the data ownership. In other words, you own the website. You can have complete autonomy, complete control of that. But I just mentioned one of the cons, and it's expensive. It's very time intensive. You're at the mercy of whoever is building this website for you, and you will have a constant need for tech support if you are not in that niche. And unless you build custom websites, or unless you have that ability, you will need someone to give you tech support at the drop of a hat in order to stay online. Again, just to make you aware of it, not to steer you in any one direction or another. It's best for established or scaling brands and those that need deep integration and customization. Choosing your e-commerce platform is like choosing a vehicle, quite frankly. It is choosing a vehicle. Shopify is a sports car, fast, it's sleek. WooCommerce is a toolbox truck, one of those white trucks that fly down the freeway. It's flexible, it's very customizable. Amazon is the road, it's a superhighway. It's crowded, it is fast, and there are some very irresponsible drivers on that freeway. Etsy is a farmer's market. It's what can I say? Yeah, farmer's market is the best way I can figure it out. I don't know how really to explain it. It's personal and creative, and custom sites, well, that's a private jet. It's very expensive, but it is yours, and you decide who gets aboard. Right? Let's talk about how to get people to your store, your marketing, your traffic. How are we going to do that? There are different types of traffic, and let's talk about those real quick. You have organic traffic. It's free, but it is definitely earned. So I say that with caution. Organic traffic, certainly you're not paying for with anything other than your sweat equity, the work that you put in. Here's how you get it. through SEO, through social posts, any content that brings visitors to your site naturally would be organic traffic. You use keyword tools to target buyer intent. You publish blog posts and how-to videos. Build a consistent social posting schedule. So you're constantly feeding this organic, what seems organic, social media. And you capture email addresses to build those repeat customers. So that's that's your free traffic, but it takes a lot of work and it takes a lot of time to get there. Then you have paid traffic. Now, paid traffic is fast, but it can be more costly. And here's what that is. Your Meta, your Facebook, Google, TikTok, any YouTube ads. Look, when you're doing this one expense for your business can be extreme. So you're going to want to start with small daily tests. You are going to want to retarget visitors that have already come organically to your site. You want to focus on return of investment, ROI. Do not focus on social media. Don't play around like that with paid traffic. We're not worried about likes. You are worried about ROI, return on investment. And you definitely want to test your creatives. Now, some people will tell you to refresh the creative every 2 or 3 weeks. Hey, sometimes you don't have to do that. Sometimes what works, works. And what other people work for other people will also work for you as well. You also have access to social media and influencers. Using content and partnerships that will transfer trust and awareness from them to you. You can partner with micro influencers, 10,000 to 50,000 followers. That's a beginner. When you're beginning, that's what I would suggest that you do. But you can also spend a great deal of money and get these macro influencers. They tend not to be as effective in the sales aspect of this, but it will definitely put a lot of eyes on your brand, and you have to take it from there. They will also post behind the scenes content, or you should be doing that, and engaging daily and cross promoting with other complementary brands. That covers your social media and your influencers. Then you take a look at email and your SMS traffic. Now that's audience or owned audience communication. In other words, you can either buy an email list from somebody, or it's the people that have already come to you from these other sources of traffic, and you build a welcome email sequence and you segment your audience by their behavior. And my suggestion to you is you organize it by their behavior on your site, not their general overall behavior. You are going to want to, like we talked about last week, reward loyalty with exclusive to them offers. You won't offer to the general public. Finally, you've got affiliate and partnership traffic. Other people promoting your brand, and you pay them a commission for doing so. Now, you can create your own affiliate programs. You can structure that any way that you see fit and will attract affiliate partnerships. You can also go out and recruit niche partners. So the people in your niche that tend to be influencers and want to make some extra money, recruit them to talk about you specifically. If you sell model airplanes, that would be a very good way of getting people into your store. Provide them with promo assets and tracking tools, because you want to be able to measure what it is they're doing. You want to measure, and you want them to measure what they're doing for your brand. And then direct traffic. Direct traffic is people typing your URL directly into a search engine. Now, that's a sign of strong brand recall, and generally you get that by keeping your branding very consistent, delivering unforgettable customer service, and the PR, the public relations mentions, and the backlinks. You can also fold this into the SEO up above. But this also could come from a banner that you go, or a sports team that you've sponsored. Traffic, this is the important thing to remember. Traffic is not one size fits all. Paid ads are your fast carbs. It's instant energy. Organic, that's the protein. Those people that are constantly interacting with you, that's what's going to build your strength over time. It's slower though. Email and direct traffic, that is a long-term health plan. It must be there if you are going to not end business immediately when you stop the other two. And the secret to real success is combining, if you haven't figured this out already, the secret to success is combining all of them. A combination of all of these things we just talked about, that's what's going to contribute to the overall health and the long-term success of your business. Launching, scaling, and analyzing your data. We've talked about this. You don't do anything that you can't measure, right? Launching is not the finish line. It is actually the starting pistol. Once your store goes live, your real advantage comes from what most new sellers ignore, and that's data. No one that listens to Straight Talk Commerce ignores their data. They know what a KPI is, key performance indicator, and they measure that. When you launch, you're going to track everything. You're going to want to pay attention, though, to the correct KPIs, those key performance indicators. With traffic, you want to track your sessions, your sources, and your bounce rate. Your sessions tell you that information in totality will tell you where people are coming from and if they're staying and how long they are staying. And the lower the bounce rate is, and the more sessions and more sources that people are coming to you from, the better. You also want to pay very close attention to your conversion rate, your add to cart rates, your checkout rates, your purchase rates. That shows you how effectively your site turns visitors into buyers, into customers, because no one is a customer until they've purchased from you. You also want to pay close attention to revenue. Your average order value, your lifetime value, LTV, your AOV, average order value, and your return on ad spend. That's your ROAS. It measures your profitability and your scalability. Low numbers in this area are going to tell you whether or not you're A, profitable, B, how far and how fast you can scale. You also want to be tracking your customer behavior when they're on your site. You want to use a heat map, a click pattern, and you want to find your exit pages. You can do that through Google Analytics. You'll find out what page your customer entered your site and where did they bounce, where did they leave. That reveals where your customers are losing interest in whatever you have on your website. And if you find out that there is a particular product that has a very high exit, you may want to deal with that. You want to fix that product page. You want to, maybe it's even you want to get rid of that product and go to a different product from a different manufacturer. Who knows? You also want to pay attention to your acquisition costs. You want to pay attention to your cost per click, your CPC, and you want to pay attention to your cost per acquisition. That helps you, that tells you flat to your face if your ads are sustainable or if you need to double down on an ad. You don't want to miss. Most people talk about the bad things, whether or not you're going to continue to do this or that. No. I tend to focus on, hey, we found a winner and we need to double down on this ad. I'm going to invest more in this ad. You cannot fix what you don't measure. I've said it a million times right here on Straight Talk Commerce. Data will turn assumption into answers. And you're going to probably like what you find, whether it's good news or whether it's bad news, because if you can't find it, you can't fix it. Here's how you're going to measure all of this data that's coming in, because it's easier once you have the correct tools. From day one, You are going to want to make sure that your site, your Etsy, your Amazon, doesn't matter. Google Analytics 4, it's free. It is a great tool, probably the best tool out there and will be for any time to come. It measures your traffic sources, your behavior flow, and your conversions for you. Shopify and WooCommerce dashboards will also give you some very good and useful information. So if you're on those two platforms, you want product level sales data to come from Shopify or WooCommerce. But you also, and this is what a lot of people won't tell you, you also want to have the backup from Google Analytics. You want someone that does not have a dog in the fight. I find sometimes a discrepancy between the numbers that Shopify gives me and what Google Analytics is telling me. You also want to find out what, or have the Meta or Facebook ads or Google Ad Manager, because that's going to give you measurement on your ad performance metrics. Hotjar and Crazy Egg are user recording and heat map apps or programs that you can use. And then you have Klaviyo or ActiveCampaign, which are email. If you're running email campaigns, that tells you your open, your click, and your conversion traffic on with those tools. And you do not want to be sending out email that you cannot track and find out what your conversion is. How are you going to make your email better if you don't know what the response is going to be or what the response has been from your email campaign? You're going to end up making a lot of people mad that would have bought from you. Let's talk about a weekly routine. See, I'm full service. I want you to understand how all of this ties together. Review your top traffic sources. Every single week, you need to be doing this. What is bringing in visitors to your store? Identify the highest converting pages or products on your site. You should always know those numbers. Tip of your fingers. It should be top of mind for you. You also want to check your cart abandonment rates. Aim for under 70%. If anything under 70% as a general rule is good. Audit your ad spend every single week. You want to compare that to your revenue. So how much are you spending compared to how much is that bringing in? And you also want to look weekly for customer feedback patterns. You definitely want to make sure that you know what your customer feedback is on a weekly basis. Timeliness. You want to very timely address those issues. That is going to help you with this next section, and that's identifying opportunities. Because once you have consistent data, you can look for those leverage points that we need. You want to optimize for conversion. You want to simplify your checkout processes. You want to reduce the amount of clicks it takes for someone to come onto your website and leave with whatever product on its way to them. You want to add as many payment options as humanly possible to your store. You want to make it very easy for people to buy from you. You're adding social proof. You're adding testimonials, reviews, those trust badges that, believe it or not, actually tend to have some bearing on whether or not people trust you. You also, on a weekly basis, will test pricing and product images, because small tweaks can raise your conversions, believe it or not, 10 to 20%. And so the quicker we can get in there and see what's actually going on, we can suss out from that data what we need to do, what our next move is going to be. If you're trying to increase your average order value, offer bundle deals or add a frequently bought together banner. Stop this. Go look at Amazon. Go look at your popular websites that you like purchasing from, and you will see on that product page, it will give you most likely a frequently bought together bar of other products that people, if it's a flashlight, look for batteries there. Look for a carrying case. Look for an arm that will twist the light around. Those upsells at checkout. Use free shipping thresholds. In other words, we know not everybody gets free shipping. So you say over $75, over $50, whatever it is that makes sense for you, only those people will get free shipping. Free shipping is available. You can put it on your website. But In order to qualify for free shipping, you must spend over $50. You must spend over $200. You must be a customer that has purchased from us multiple times. If you're trying to retain customers, use post-purchase email and cross-selling or loyalty programs, and I say use all three of those things. Not to overcomplicate things to begin with, but first, you want to do post-purchase emails. Anybody that buys from you, you want to thank them personally. Then as time goes on, you want to cross-sell and create a loyalty program to draw those people back to the well as many times as humanly possible. That's where your profit is going to come from. Each time you will be asking for reviews to boost that trust and to boost your organic ranking. And you want to surprise VIP customers with a bonus gift or early access to new products. And I say both to that as well. It doesn't cost you anything to give someone early access to a product that you are unveiling. It does cost a little bit, but you can get very creative on what that bonus gift is. We have a podcast coming up shortly about possible bonus gifts. All this to say, you want to scale smart. Double down on your best traffic sources. Your business will tell you. You will not tell your business a thing. Your business will tell you where your customers are, what your customers want, how they want it delivered to them. They will be very happy to tell you, do more of this, make more of that. Reinvest the profits into top performing ad campaigns and expand your product lines only after you have a winner. Only after you have really nailed that one hero product that everybody has enjoyed or you got a very high enjoyment rate out of. Every order will tell a story. Every abandoned cart, for that matter, is feedback. If you listen to the numbers, your customers will literally show you where your next profit or where the profits are hiding for you to uncover. Like I said, you don't tell your customers. Your customers will tell you. If you've made it this far, you are thinking of starting or have already started your own e-commerce business. Stop overthinking, start executing. Go back through this episode, pick one of these models, take your first step, even if it's just to register a domain or get a Shopify store set up. What kind of e-commerce business, frankly, are you planning on launching? Drop a comment down below or direct message me. I promise you I will feature you in an upcoming episode. Maybe we'll do an interview and help you in your startup journey. Love to do that. I want to see some success stories coming from, I've heard some, but I want to see them coming from this show. Give me a like if you like this episode. Subscribe if you would like more of this type of content. And I will see you next week. Love you.
No fluff, no hype, just the real deal. Wayne Altman's here, yeah, you know the drill. Talking business, talking shop, making moves non-stop. From e-com to hustle, straight talk, no props. Straight talk, no gimmicks, no lies. Here to break it down with the sharpest minds. Money, moves, mindset, grind. If you're ready to win, then tune in live. Big names, big games, all the lessons they bring. From Jelly Belly to AA Kings. From the startup grind to the top tier pros. We cracked the code, now here we go. Straight talk, commerce, getting to know. Wayne Altman, let's start the show.